On the 20th of August 1999, farmer Tony Martin shot two burglars who were breaking into his home. He killed one of them and seriously wounded the other. Tony Martin, a bachelor, was living alone at his farmhouse, Bleak House, in Ennerth, Hungate, Norfolk, which he had inherited from his uncle in around 1980. He claims he was burgled around 10 times, losing around £6,000 worth of furniture in the process. The police, however, question this. They don't believe there is any evidence to suggest such crimes happened, and that there was no evidence of any missing furniture and no police report. Martin also complained about police inaction over the burglaries and claimed that multiple items and furniture were stolen, such as dinnerware and a grandfather clock. Martin had equipped himself with an illegally held pump-action shotgun, a Winchester Model 1300 12-gauge, which he had claimed to have found. Changes in legislation in 1998 resulting from the Hungerford massacre had changed the way licences were handed out for firearms. Now, any shotgun that can hold more than 2 cartridges at a time no longer required shotgun certificate, but the much harder to get firearms certificate. Martin had had his shotgun certificate revoked in 1994 after he found a man stealing apples in his orchard and shot a hole in the back of his van. So on the night of the burglary, he had no legal entitlement to own a shotgun. Two burglars, Brendan Fearon, 29, and 16-year-old Fred Barras, both Irish travellers from the Newark area of Nottinghamshire, broke into Martin's house. Shooting downwards in the dark with his shotgun loaded with birdshot, Martin shot 3 times towards the intruders, once when they were in the stairwell and twice more when they were trying to flee through a window of an adjacent ground floor room. Barras was hit in the back and both sustained gunshot injuries to their legs. Both escaped through the window, but Barras died at the scene. Martin claimed that he'd opened fire after being woken when the intruders smashed the window, but the prosecution accused him of lying in wait for the burglars and opening fire without warning from close range, in retribution for previous break-ins at his home. In August 1999, Martin was charged with the murder of Barras, the attempted murder of Fearon, wounding with intent to cause injury to Fearon, and possessing a firearm with intent to endanger life. Martin did not hold a valid shotgun certificate, let alone the more restrictive firearms certificate. He would have needed to possess the Winchester pump-action shotgun that held a maximum of 5 rounds. English law permits that a person can only kill another in self-defense only if the person defending him or herself uses no more than reasonable force. It is the responsibility of the jury to determine whether or not an unreasonable amount of force was used. The jury at the trial were told that they had the option of returning a verdict of manslaughter rather than murder if they thought that Martin did not intend to kill or cause serious bodily harm. However, the juries found Martin guilty of murder by a 10-2 majority. He was sentenced to life imprisonment with a recommended minimum term to serve of 9 years, reduced to 8 years by the Lord Chief Justice. An appeal was considered in October of 2001 by 3 senior judges headed by Lord Wolfe. Submissions by the defence that Martin had fired in his own defence were rejected by the appeal court. On this occasion, the defence also submitted evidence that Martin was diagnosed with paranoid personality disorder exacerbated by depression, and then this paranoia was specifically directed at anyone intruding into his home. He was also diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. This submission was accepted by the Court of Appeal, and on the grounds of diminished responsibility, Martin's murder conviction was replaced by manslaughter, carrying a 5-year sentence, and his 10-year sentence for wounding Fearon was reduced to 3 years. These sentences were to run concurrently. Now released, here's a short clip of Martin talking in 2018. He clearly believes he's done the right thing and clearly would do it again.
But you can't live here now.
I could do if I wanted to.
Why don't you?
I don't want to get locked up.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's simple. If I'm in the house and somebody comes in the house, I'm going to look after myself. If you think I'm going to stand there and ask them what they do, I'm not that stupid.
Well, given everything that's happened to you?
Yes. When you start to run, you'll be forever running, so you have to stand your ground.